Roblox is filled with millions of games. But you know, most of them are trash. Like, seriously. Right now, the discovery page is filled with those generic simulator games or gambling games. So, I'm gonna show you guys some great quality games you probably never heard of. We're starting off with Superstar Racers. In this game, you'll be racing against other players to complete an obby as fast as you can before time runs out. This game has a ton of different maps, each with its own unique challenges that make them fun and tough in their own way. For example, there's a water map where you have to keep your oxygen filled, this retro map where you can use items like bombs and trowels to help you, and this sticky factory where there will be some slimes on the wall that you can stick to for a short time. So, you'll need to get used to each map to avoid dying constantly like I did. There are also some random events, and the one I hate the most is the no checkpoint event. Imagine playing this freaking hard obby with no checkpoints. It's making me insane, but I love it. The second game that I think you guys should play is this rhythm game called Rusher. Some of y'all might think, oh my god, bro, this game looks easy because there are only like 2 buttons that you have to press. But let me tell you something, even though it's still the prototype version, or we can say unfinished, this game actually has many unique features that make it harder than any other rhythm games. Or maybe I'm just bad at rhythm games, I don't know. Some of the features are that sometimes the circles go backward, or they might even stop unexpectedly. Yeah. And many other things that you can discover yourself. And the devs said that they might add a storyline in the future, which makes it potentially good, doesn't it? And so far, all the music in this game is really fun to play. So yeah, go ahead and give this game a try, guys. Alright, now if you want to play a fighting game, you should try Shonen Smash. This game is similar to Smash Bros. Or I could say it's pretty much the same. The difference is that all the characters are from anime. Even though the game is still new, there are plenty of characters you can unlock by rolling, or just buying them in the shop. And yes, you can explore the characters for hours since each one has its own playstyle, so pick the one that suits you. Good luck pulling off all the combos or just spamming the skills over and over again, it's all up to you. In the next game, we have Blood, Sweats, and Pixels. In this game, you will fight in an arena with unique pixel graphics, and you will receive 3 random weapons to defeat your enemies. But these weapons are not regular weapons. They are goofy things you wouldn't expect to be weapons, like a trash can, a paint roller, and even a rubber duck. And the best part about the weapons is that you can make some kind of combos with them. Yeah, that's it. It's just a simple randomized fighting game that I find very fun, and I think you guys should try it at least once. And enough with the combat games. Now I'm going to recommend a game for tycoon lovers. This game is called Industrialist. Yes, the gameplay might seem complex at first, but once you get used to it, you'll love it. In this game, you will build an industry, and there are many industrial components you can obtain by earning research points using a research station. What makes this game interesting is its power system. You'll have to build power sources such as solar panels or turbines to run all the machines in your industry, and you must connect them to the machines using wires, and use pipes to move resources like coal and water, then transport them to the truck depot for sale. Well, there's actually so much you can do, but that's all I can tell you for now. Go ahead and play this game because it is really fun. The next game on the list is Bloxton Mystery. This game is heavily inspired by Town of Salem. So basically, you and other players will be given a random role that has a special ability for each of them. But the problem is, you don't know who's on your side and who's your enemy. So because of that, at nighttime, you can use your role's ability to kill the person you don't trust, help people, or revealing someone's identity, depending on the role you got. And instead of using your ability by just clicking on other people, you'll have to visit the house of your target to actually use it. But of course, other people can visit the same house, which might cause problems, or you might even die while using your ability. And during the daytime, you and other players will have to discuss who to execute by voting. So your communication and lying skill is really important at this time. So, would you like to play this game and betray the people who trust you? Now let's have a chill time by playing this new game called Fish. Like the name says, this game lets you catch over 400,000 different kinds of fish. Isn't that cool? When you're fishing, there will be a challenge similar to a rhythm game. Then you can sell the fish you've caught to get more money and buy cool boats to travel around the ocean. Well, this one's an exception. Or you can buy other tools to help you catch more fish and even crabs by using cages. You can also buy some unique baits like this to help you catch fish faster and better, like this cool fish I just caught. So, gather your friends and travel around the ocean and islands to catch lots of fish together. Moving on to the next on the list, we have Kaijuro cards. As the name suggests, it's a card game similar to Runeterra or Yu-Gi-Oh!, but it's so much simpler. You can play the tutorial if you want to learn about the game yourself, but I'll explain it anyway in this video. So to win this game, you need to have more power than your opponent, which you can see on these bars. And you can gain the powers by summoning cards or using spells. Of course, just like in other card games, each card you play has its own abilities, so you need to strategize and create combos to use all your cards as effectively as possible. You'll also have some shields to protect you from hits, but if all your shields are gone, you'll lose on the next hit. This game is really fun to play with your friends, so I recommend you play it with them. Lost Room is a survival horror game where the main focus is defeating the boss of each map you play on. Of course, the boss isn't easy to beat, so you have to prepare a lot of things first, such as gathering materials and food, craft weapons and armor, and building your base where you can set traps, place turrets, grow food resources, or build some freaking walls like in Fortnite. And you won't only fight the boss, because the longer you stay in that place, the more creatures will spawn, each with its own annoying abilities. What makes it even harder is there's a power limit. Using too much power will cause the electricity to shut off, disabling doors made from machines and other electrical equipment. Another horror game that you can try with your friends is Night Watch. Night Watch is a game where you become a night shift officer and have to complete your manager's checklist of tasks by morning. There are 4 roles that each player can pick. The camera operator, who has to check the cameras all the time to warn other players and also fix the lights. The janitor, who has to move items and clean the office. The printer boy, who just has to print papers and refill the printer ink. And the technician, who has to fix the computers that bug out. The game is so fun but really hard at the same time, because there are monsters roaming around the office, and they're freaking annoying. Some of them can even mimic one of the players. And when the lights go out, it gets even worse, because there are monsters that only show up in the dark. Seriously, you guys need to try this game because it's one of the most fun horror games I've played. Now, we have a story game with a similar office theme, which is Rushed Out. A game that combines horror and strategy in a pretty unique way. You play as a worker trying to escape your office, but the manager, who's more of a monster, won't make it easy. Your goal is to collect 6 floppy disks around this big office by helping out the NPCs. But here's the twist. While solving these puzzles, you have to pretend you're still working to avoid being fired by the manager. The game also has voice acting for NPCs, which makes it kind of a high-quality game for Roblox.
I can help you out, but first will you help find my briefcase?
And if you're struggling to complete the game, you can team up with up to 4 players to make your escape easier. The next game on the list is Altered Online. Altered Online is a hack-and-slash MMORPG that will probably get you addicted. In this game, you can choose between 3 classes with different types of attacks and weapons. They are Warrior, Archer, and Spellcaster. Well, this game brings a unique mechanic that we rarely see in a Roblox game before, which is an RPG with a 2D camera, just like Albion Online. And what makes this game fun is it's not like a regular RPG game where all you do is farm, but every dungeon has different features that make it more enjoyable, such as traps and objectives, and even a boss fight that's really fun and difficult. So you might want to collect many kinds of armor and weapons on the map, and also unlock new abilities to beat all your enemies easily. Alright, the next game on the list is Mini Empires. Mini Empires is a real-time strategy game where you have to defeat all your enemies by outsmarting them and using your money and troops. So yeah, just like other RTS games, you start with a core and this cute little builder, and you have to use your builders to gather money by ordering them to build a farm, oil pump, and even a gold mine. When your money is enough, you can start training troops and build a strong base, so you can't be easily defeated. If you think it's too easy, you can try the ranked mode where you'll team up with 2 other players to fight 3 enemies at the same time. And there will be a fog, so you can't see where your enemies are coming from. But with strong troops and trustworthy allies, you can claim victory and rank up. Now, if you're looking for a puzzle game that will twist your brain, then Terminal Escape Room is for you. In this game, there are a lot of puzzles that you need to solve before the time runs out. And yes, Time is really important because when I played it with my friends, we thought 90 minutes would be too much for a puzzle game, but it turns out we couldn't even complete a chapter. The puzzles you'll have to solve are so insane that sometimes you'll have to pull out your notes just to finish one of them. So I challenge you guys to bring your friends and play this game to see how well you work together under pressure. For the last one, we have Scorched Earth, a hardcore World War II FPS game that will put your tactical skills to the test. You and your teammates must secure all the objectives to win, but it won't be easy as the map is wide open and huge, making it hard to spot where your enemies are coming from. You can try rushing the enemy, even though I think that's really difficult. Or you can build structures, dig down, and create cover with a shovel to make your way toward destroying them. There are 5 loadouts with their own different playstyles, and you can customize them if you want. And if you're bad at aiming, you can just use whatever explosive utilities you have and beat the crap out of your enemies with them.